Section 1.7 in Chapter 1 is titled Commonly Used Units. Before we go into the specifics of some of those, let me backtrack a little bit and talk to you a little bit about electrical machines and this idea that, here we are, we're majoring in electrical engineering technology or computer engineering technology or electronic engineering technology. Keyword being electrical related, right? Well, when we get into the world of electrical machines, one thing that I'll keep pounding this semester, and I'll keep telling you this in different forms and in different ways, but when we talk about electrical machines, we're generally talking about three things. Number one, it's a transformer. Number two, it's a generator. Number three, it's a motor, okay? And so each one of those electrical machines does some type of an energy conversion. For instance, the generator transfers mechanical energy into electrical energy. The motor, on the other hand, transfers electrical energy to mechanical energy. The transformer, and we'll talk about this in detail later, it's a stationary device, but it does a transformation of the power and the components of voltage and current. So anyway, each electrical machine does an energy conversion. Now, because of that, we have to get into some areas that are a little bit out of our normal way of thinking. And those are represented in this section 1.7. I'll pull up some of these tables and we'll look at them. The first one on page 7 is this table 1D. I'll share that with you. And we're looking at that now. And we cannot get away from the idea of the mechanical portion of the motor. Because what a motor does, it takes electrical energy, converts it into mechanical energy, and this mechanical energy is available to us and basically at the end of that motor shaft. And we couple something to that and we do some type of work. Now, because of that, we have to be able to at least be associated with mechanical concepts and mechanical terms. We're actually going to have an entire chapter 3 in this textbook is going to go into mechanical concepts and some basic mechanical calculations. But what this section does, it discusses some common units that we use in mechanics. And, some of these, we've seen before, and some of them we maybe recognize, but we haven't used that much. And, we see, again, the radian is a measure of, or a unit of angular measure. We use the degree almost exclusively in this text, but the radian, is given as the precise measure of angular measurement. The second one I'll point out here, he talks about the Newton, and we'll throw this term Newton around a lot. We'll use it in a lot of our derived units, but he says the Newton is a very small force. Down here in the notes, number 3, the Newton is a very small force, roughly equal to the force needed to press a doorbell. So, we need a working knowledge of these common units in mechanics. We also have some area there that we need to explore in terms of thermodynamics. Now, let me give you a quick definition of thermodynamics. And again, this is just something we want to be familiar with and know some of the terminology. But from Wikipedia, thermodynamics is a branch of physics that deals with heat, work, and temperature and their relation to energy, radiation, and properties of matter. When we're dealing with electrical machines, motors, generators, transformers, Each one of these, heat, work, and temperature, are a very important part of the operation of these electrical machines. So along with that, there are some terms. Let's see if I can find these for us. This would be table 1E. Share this with you. We'll look at it. Table 1E shows us some of the common units in thermodynamics: heat, thermal power, specific heat, so forth and so on. Now, really, most of the time, what we're going to do is, we're going to have lookup tables, or maybe we're dealing with some sort of heat dissipation or transfer of heat, so forth and so on. So, we'll have these specific heat constants, and we'll have an appendix in the back of the book, and we'll look it up. But again, just to have a base familiarity with these terms. And then the last one that we'll look at is this table 1F, and it is sharing with us these common units of electricity and magnetism. We're very familiar with the electricity units, but remember, this whole energy conversion process that occurs in electrical machines, mechanical to electrical, electrical to mechanical, it's done through the medium of a magnetic field. So, we want to at least be comfortable with the terminology that we're using, that we're talking about in terms of magnetics. It's an area that in our preliminary courses in 131 and 133, a lot of times we don't spend a lot of time there, but it's a critical portion and a critical part of understanding how electrical motors work.